When walls talk back and windows cry, boundaries drawn under heavy skies. In the space between the said and seen lies a story that cuts unclean. Hold the ties that thread entangled tight, diplomatic dances in the cold moonlight. A step misplaced and the stage does sway, persona non grata carried far away. Persona non grata carried far away.
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. I seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
My president will respond to you.
Yeah, let me.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on the quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
Influence, move with a practiced grin, shaking hands with the lights that dim. The White House walls heard his claim to fame, but the shadows whispered a different name. Oh, Ramaphosa, what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. Pretending blind to the cries at home, while the streets of SA ache and moan. Right up man with a golden hue, but the deal fell flat and the lies broke through. Oh, Ramaphosa, what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. Closed doors, the mask came off. No suits, no ties, just shadows aloft. The past screams loud from the buried ground. Now the silence breaks with a deafening sound. Oh, Ramaphosa, what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. Oh, Ramaphosa, what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. The horrors rise from a nation torn. Whispers turn to cries of scorn. History's weight won't stay concealed. Every wound must one day heal. Oh, Ramaphosa, what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You played the game but lost your way. Now the world sees the price you pay. Oh, Ramaphosa, what's the cost? Truth uncovered, bridges crossed. You pay.
And they're doing precisely what we said we as South Africans should not do. We should stop running to other countries. We should discuss our own problems here.
I mean, it's just insane. Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, get a grip. I mean, honestly, people have no idea what's involved here. A thorough background investigation must be completed to prove who you are, where you're from, what you're saying is true. That has to take place. There's an administrative process that has to take place. Interviews have to be conducted. Medical screening has to be done. All this stuff takes time.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, America. It's your favorite podcaster. Hey, some say I'm the problem. Hey, it's your favorite podcaster on YouTube ever, content creator. Some say the best ever. Welcome back to the program, folks. To all the Neanderthals, all the canines, all the right-wing podcasters, and all you aspiring car guards out there, welcome back to the program. Woo! What a day we've got lined up for you here on the program. It's a pleasure to have you all back once again. 643 people currently here, but just 192 likes. What's up with that? What's up with that, man? I mean, come on. Can you not find the spot? I mean, are you visually impaired? It's down here below the video. You push that button, like. Only 5 of you have done it. Really? Oh, there we go. 251. Wow, that was a big jump. Thank you very much, folks. All right, welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen, and all you aspiring car guards. I have to tell you that there's work for you. There's work for you. Let me just check on somebody real quick. I haven't heard from in a few days. Breathe. All right. Okay, so let me say hello to a few folks. I can't get everybody in the chat. There's a lot of people in the chat. Let me see if I can find a few folks. Warren van Rensburg, welcome to you. Amarencia Quinn, Shanaz Abrahams, Anton Muller. Arctic is here. Helen of Troy. Tom Poltney, The Refuge. Rex Human. Pats Pat. Ashley. Chris Ehlers is here. Barbie. Darlene, welcome to you. Lynn Harris. Mariki Bezidnight, welcome to you. Candice Carmen Mocha. Interesting username or surname there. And Joan Stewart, welcome to you. Peter Petersay, welcome to you. Gary Buchner, Eileen von Billion. I did an interview with Kali Creel a short while ago. I had no time to edit it. Plus, I just recorded another video. Oops, I don't hear that. And thank you for the super chat there, Helen of Troy, 14 Rand super sticker. And for your membership, that is Inkwell, 4 months. Thank you so much for that. Wow, I haven't even looked to see how many members we have, paying members on the channel recently, folks. Got to check that out. There you go. Thank you for your membership. Cool beans. All right. So some of you might notice there's actually a painting back here behind my mom's. Check it out. This was a gift from South Africa. I had it not easy to get back here. I had to be very careful carry that so it didn't get damaged. Lovely painting given to me. Thank you so much for that. Yep. Someone who came to 2 meet and greets. Excuse me. Nicola, welcome to you. Gus, welcome back, Gus. Holden Caulfield, Kat. Who else we got here? Rakes. Smee again is back again. Alan Balladie's here. Danielle Pickle. Helen of Troy. Jack. Jake Overly Thinker. Okay. Does anyone know when the Night Owls video went to? Oh, I hit it. I hit it, Jake. I hit it. There was a couple things I said in there I didn't really want to say, so I get a little excited, so I just hit it. So it's not YouTube. I just hit it. Yep. Refresh your page every 30 seconds. No notification YouTube. This is more than 3 weeks now. Well, unsubscribe and resubscribe, Eddie. And understand that every day, regardless of what's going on, I do a live broadcast, 6 p.m. South Africa time, every single day. Not European Central Time, not UK Greenwich Mean Time, not US time, South Africa time. That is my talisman for the world. I use Central Africa time, CAT in South Africa, and I have to bend with the wind like a willow. So when we have daylight savings time here, I have to change the time that I do this. So for part of the year, I have a 7-hour difference, 11 a.m., which is really inconvenient for me. And then the rest of the time, I do it 7 days a week, unless there's rugby or I'm traveling or something's happening. And yeah, so always here, folks. Yep. So refresh your subscription and set the bell for all notifications. But yeah, if you're using a mobile phone, you've also got to make sure that on your mobile it's set to receive notifications from those folks and so on. Did somebody just give a bunch of memberships? What's going on here? Nope. Okay, thank you for your membership there. I appreciate that. Sailing, fishing, shooting adventures. That sounds exciting. Be careful. YouTube might censor you for waving a firearm. Whoop, whoop, that's a firearm. Sorry. It's dangerous highlighter there. We can't be waving that around on camera. Suriname Prozo is nothing but a puppet. There you go. Internet, welcome to Wills. Candace, Rita, welcome. Good to see you back. I don't smoke or drink or use drugs, but hell, I had a weird attack or something. Chris disappeared. I'm glad to see all the love and affection for the program and for me personally. I really am quite humbled by it, folks. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I do really appreciate it. I think those of you who know me and have met me multiple times know that it's genuine. It's not just, lip service. I'm not just saying it. I mean, when I come to the meet and greets, do I not go out of my way, particularly these big ones on this last trip, to go and greet every single person? I make an effort if I can, if the event's not too large, to talk to everyone possible. Yep. Rhino Girl's here. And Strauss is back. AJ Quinn. Exactly. We talk, they ignore their answer. Let's add 3 more laws. Yeah, exactly. Colin Harris, you have learned the word footsec and use it well. Time to learn. Oh, I know what that word means. Yeah, I know what that is. Raven von Croy, welcome to Lindy. Most say the best ever. Hello, welcome back to the program. It's your favorite content creator. Some say the best ever. Oh, if only that were true. Give me 20 million subscribers. Yeah. Dylan Combrick, there's an OG. Hey, how's it going, man? Found the spot. Aha. You are the best, and we love you. Cool. Hey, Kai, how's it going? Oh, for Pete's sake, that dancing of John Cena is so flipping horrible. It is pretty ugly. Alana Teet, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you very much. Anonymous Recall. I like that. Anonymous Recall. That's good stuff. Sounds like an industrial standard, Anonymous Recall. Phoenix Leona Meyer. Why do you always find out years later how two-faced politicians are? Well, SA Bikes and Cars, that's a good question. It's a good question. Thank you, Natasha Liebetrau. And thank you very much. We all missed you. And you missed Baby Wyatt. Yeah, Baby Wyatt rocks, doesn't he? Baby Wyatt rocks. I like the new one too. I've been asked to provide some more stuff for it, but I've been busy. I will get to it as soon as I can. But another quote so it can be used. So let me look up I don't know why they don't show up here properly. Probably because they're saved as WhatsApp and not as here. Let's find this is Baby Chris too. It's so fun. I love this one. Unfortunately, they're too short. 14 seconds. I want one that's gonna last like a minute, man. So this is the second one here. It's where I do the baby shark thing. I love these things. Here you go, folks. It's so funny. Yeah, they didn't like the Baby Wyatt. I broke the internet. Baby shark, doo 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 doo. Baby shark, doo doo doo. Here we go with that. Oh my goodness. That stuff is too funny. I don't know why we get a kick out of anthropomorphized animals and we get a kick out of baby things, when people, it's just funny. Jacqueline Engelbrecht, please let's discuss the live with Ronaldo last night. What about the live? What do you want to discuss? What do you want to discuss? It's like John von Riebeck. I don't think so. Leon, I dub him Private Baby Wyatt. There you go. Should put him in uniform. That's what we should do, is put him in uniform. Put him in fatigues. Hey, Charmaine. T gave 140 rand. Appreciate Colonel Wyatt and everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I want Baby Chris to say, that's the one. That's the one, Max. That's what I got to do. Look, it's a fucking good. That's what we got to do. That's the one, Mad Max. Okay, I'll do that. I'll record an audio file and I'll send it to her. It's a good. Oh, aidez-moi. Aidez-moi. French for help me. Charles, there's no alert for the podcast because the settings were incorrect. It was set for unlisted, not for public. That's why there's no alert on this one. So, Ruth, appreciate you standing up for what you believe in. Awesome stuff. I do, Ruthie. I do. In fact, I was on Caravan to Midnight the other night, and John B. Wells and I had a difference of opinion regarding Israel. He doesn't like Israel, doesn't support Israel. I wasn't endorsing Israel, but I was simply pointing out the military success. And so, but we had a difference of opinion, and that's great. Adults can have difference of opinion. Would like to have a chat with you on the side, as my daughter is already married to an Army vet. Okay, Peter. All right. Greetings, all my fellow car guards. We in the great goat for a while. We haven't seen, you ain't seen the goat for a while? We did the goat. We did him recently. Where's he at? Here we go. I just played the goat the other day, man. I just played the goat. What are you guys talking about, man? Hang on a second here. Where is the goat? Where is the goat? Ah, it's disappeared. Hang on a second here. Where is the goat? Huh. It's gone. How is it missing? Oh, there it is. Got it. Just slipped by. Here's the goat, folks. Oh, that was pretty crazy. Pretty cray-cray.
A fucking goat outside.
It's just a goat.
No. It's a fucking goat.
Such an adorable child. Such an adorable child. Poor kids. The things kids say. All right, good to be back, folks. I was back last night. I did a live stream last night, late at night. I did that at 1 o'clock in the morning, so 12:45. Thanks for all your help and advice. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. Yeah, you guys love that. Child is so adorable, so adorable. Hey, Strauss. All right, let's get some news in here, folks. Let's get some news in. 1,000 people here, 614 likes. Wow, let's hit the button, folks. Let's hit the button. Let's get ready to rumble, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the news analysis for today. So yesterday, I went to a lot of trouble, spent about almost 5 hours to give you guys news. I hope people appreciate it. How many people watch that, by the way, before we get to the news? Let's do that. Let me talk about the channel here very quickly. By the way, folks, before we get to the news, okay, sorry, we'll get to it. Hang in there, hang in there. You'll get to the news. Tomorrow, my YouTube little tiny silver platter is supposed to arrive. I will record the delivery of it. Although they'll probably just leave it on my stoop out front. There's a Zulu on my stoop. No, no, but they'll leave it on my stoop, and I will go out and I'll record it, walk up. Ooh, look what I found. And I'll take it in the house, I'll open it up, and we'll show you the plaque. And then we'll promptly put it in a box somewhere. So that's coming tomorrow. Oh, also, by the way, folks, for the channel, I requested, and it said takes weeks, but it only took a few days. If you go to my channel, I'm going to go to my channel right now and show you this. This is what Ronaldo was talking about last week. My channel now has a tick mark next to it, okay? Let me explain what I mean by that. So there are people who impersonate channels. They put on their channel fake names, like they'll put Colonel Chris Wyatt to try to put videos up to mislead people thinking they're me on YouTube. So YouTube, for people who are consistent, who are real, they verify you. And so you have to give them some information. They check the history of your channel, what you do, your content. And so that's a good indicator that you know that the person you're dealing with is actually the person that claims to be that person. So Ronaldo really is Ronaldo, whether you like that or not. It's really Ronaldo. And in my case, it's really me. So on this channel, I now have a verified little tick mark. If you look up here next to my name, and I'll zoom that in, there's a little black check mark there. There you go. See it right there? Right there. So Colonel Chris Wyatt, and then right next to the right of that is a black check mark. Okay? It will appear differently on different people's things. But that shows you that this is legitimate, verified channel and legitimate, verified person. That's important because as the channel becomes larger, the hate wankers target you and they come after you and they try to undermine you with nonsense. So you know it's me. Oh, you saw the check mark, okay? Yeah, so certified authentic cock prod exposer. Thank you. I thought you were going to call me a cock prodder, Wesley. Napoleon says, I see the suppressors and the shotguns removal from included in the big, beautiful bill. I didn't see that, Napoleon. Okay. Are the British and Irish Lions on tomorrow? I didn't realize it was starting already. I wanted to go to Australia for that. Damn it. Damn it. Is it already going on? British and Irish Lions? I'm going to have to cover that game. Aw. Let's see. Fixtures. Tomorrow, 3 p.m., British and Irish Lions playing Argentina. Okay. Argentina. So they're at home. That's interesting. Let me see if I've got that. So it's at 3 p.m. tomorrow. So I do have rugby this weekend. I didn't realize that. So look for Flow Rugby here. Thank you for the heads up. I would have missed that completely. I thought I had no rugby this weekend. There's Flow Rugby. Let me see the British and Irish Lions. Tomorrow is the 20th. Tomorrow I've got Stade Toulousain and Bayonne. It looks like I may not have it. Oh, what the heck? Crusaders versus Chiefs? No, thank you. Let me just double check the schedule. Tomorrow's the 20th of June. And no, it's not on here. So I wonder if it's on NBC. Well, that sucks. That sucks. I want to cover it. Okay, thank you for that. But the British and Irish Lions, I'll have to keep an eye on that then. Yes, they're removing short barrel rifle and suppressors from and removing the 300 tax stamp. Good. South African Barbarians also playing this week. Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to get that broadcast. I don't know who's going to cover that. So I'd love to cover the Barbarians. The Babas. Yes. Isn't Jordy Barrett playing for the Babas this weekend? Saturday morning. Yeah. The Crusaders and Chiefs. Yeah, Conrad, I've got that. I can cover that. But, I mean, that's, so let's go to the 20th. So I've got it's not tomorrow. It's the next day. Yeah, they play in Canterbury. That's on, Sunday's the 21st? Is that right? No. Oh, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday's the 21st. Excuse me. Saturday's the 21st. Yeah, so, yep. I could cover the Crusaders versus Chiefs. And actually, the Crusaders are a team I kind of like to follow, so although I haven't watched them all. Oh, I do have it. The Barbarians are playing South Africa on the 28th. I have that. I'll be able to cover that game. Yeah, that's listed here. I don't know why there's a star next to it. But yeah, that's going to be on the 28th. So I'll cover the South Africa versus the Barbarians. Okay. That's on the 28th. You guys got your dates wrong. All right, cool beans. Back to, let's get to the, but I want to talk about the channel very quickly here. So hang on a second. For the channel, by the way, we're approaching 103,000 subscribers. I need 6 more subscribers to get there, and we'll be there. All right, so let me get to videos here. We have, for the channel now, a channel that had 3.4 million views in 2 years and 8 months, now has, I'm getting more than that per month than I was getting in the entire lifetime of this channel. The channel now has 22,500,000 views. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And 2 million hours of content have been watched now. Wow. Gray Man says, thanks for everything you do. Where is the bunny? You want to see the bunny? The bunny's right here, man. Thank you for that 140 Rand super chat. You miss Auntie Thea. Well, Thea has gone quiet on me. I haven't heard from her since Saturday. It's been almost a week. So I've sent her a message. But I've got a 500,000 view video and a few 200,000 view videos. But now we're hitting 100,000 regularly on videos, but not really pushing beyond that. So 1,100 people currently here, 800 likes. We're doing better with the likes. Thank you for that. And thank you for the gifted memberships, Delana Frion, donating those gifted memberships. Good to see you live streaming on YouTube again. Thank you, Dire Straits. Okay. And Gene Ward. Okay, now, there's Charles Van Altson, the voice of reason. He's an OG. Been with us a very long time. All right, let's get to the news. We've got plenty of news. First off, Trump snubbed Ramaphosa at the G7? No. How do you snub somebody that you don't? I don't know how she's doing her job. I haven't talked to her since she started her job on Saturday. How do you snub somebody you don't have a meeting with? I mean, honestly, folks, I mean, that's just ridiculous. So that's what South African media is now claiming, that Ramaphosa was snubbed by Trump. That's ludicrous. Ramaphosa lied and said he had a meeting scheduled with Trump, which he never had. Yep. U.S. President Donald Trump appears to have snubbed his South African counterpart. And why? Oh, well, the political analyst says the reason is because he wants to help the whiteys. Trump wants South Africa to support the U.S. The issue of tariffs and all that's a bind for Trump because he wants to be friendly with Afrikaners and whites. So he cannot deprive these white South Africans. He wants to be friends with the revenues that they can make from the U.S. What? We give South Africa duty-free access to our marketplace. What revenue are we making from South Africa? That's just ludicrous. South Africa's rand dipped today. Bad news. The rand weakened in early trading, weighed down by risk-off sentiment of the Iran-Israel conflict continued for the 7th day as investors awaited the South African Reserve Bank's financial stability review. Trading at over 18.1 to the dollar now. Floyd Shivambu held his press conference, and he says he's going to look at starting a new political party. He says the EFF is a cult. Yeah, and you are one of its members, but now an MK member. Former MK Party Secretary General Floyd Shivambu briefed the media in Midrand. He announced he would embark on a listening session to determine whether South Africans are interested in a new political party. Floyd, let me save you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of heartache. No, they're not. Nobody needs a new South African political party. Don't need one. Join the good party. They're good for nothing. That's where you can go. I recommend Floyd Shivambu join the good party because they're good for nothing, and that's exactly what he is, good for nothing. So there you go. So Floyd Shivambu plots a new course with a new party while he remains in MK. What kind of, draatzitse is this? What kind of draatzitse is this? I'm staying in MK, but I'm going to start a new political party. Dude, get a razor or grow a beard. Oh, my goodness. Former MK Party Secretary General Floyd Shivambu declared at the start of the process create a new political party following accusations he attempted to topple Zuma. We will see the seeking of the wisdom of ordinary South Africans, including all the churches of the Zion Christian Church, of Nazareth Baptist Church, and the IPCC. Good Lord. Dr. Irvin Koza, Patrice Motsepe, and Kaiser Motung on the need to form a new political party. Wow, that's folks, ladies and gentlemen, we need a new political party in South Africa like people need venereal disease. It's not necessary. It's not desired. It's not needed. It's superfluous. But Shivambu seems determined to have a new party. He says that the report that he was removed based on intelligence is rubbish. Yes, he said he was axed as the Secretary General on the basis of questionable intelligence report that suggests he was working secretly to take over the party. MK, the dumpster fire of South African politics. I thought the EFF was a dumpster fire, but it's truly MK. Well, the economic freedom fighters have slammed the United Kingdom for cowardice, and they vowed not to trade revolutionary beliefs over Malema ban. Well, guess what? We don't care. Isn't it ironic? Well, Juju, the colonizers, the colonists, the evil white people. They won't let me come. I can't go to Harrods. I can't go to London. Oh, those evil white people won't let me in their country. They won't let me in their country. It's so terrible. Why do you want to go to the UK? They're evil white people, Juju. Why do you need to go to the UK? Stay in Africa. You're all about Pan-Africanism. Spread your wings. Go to South Sudan. Go to Niger. I got some more garden spots for you there, Juju. You know what? Mali. Mali's for you. Mali's for you. Yeah. Great business opportunities in Mali. South Sudan. Somalia. Yeah, check it out, Juju. Go there. You're such a Pan-Africanist. He's becoming quite a husk, isn't he? Quite a slender look there. What kind of slimming pills are you taking there, JJ? They look pretty good, man. Economic Freedom Fighters has condemned the United Kingdom's decision to deny its leader, Julius Malema, a visa, calling the move a blatant act of political censorship and cowardice. In a statement, the party said it was not surprised by the UK Home Office's confirmation that Malema's visa application was denied due to his political views, particularly his support for Palestine and his stance on racial inequality in South Africa. Dude, this guy is the face of racial inequality, a privileged elite who's got everything, who sings songs about murdering white people because they're white. And there's a super chat that just came in from Nicholas. Congratulations on your verification. Can't wait to watch your unboxing tomorrow. I'm honored to be here. Well, it'll be late because UPS says it's coming late in the evening, so it'll probably be a late video. So I'll probably be dark when I see it. So, I'll probably do a little, it's not here yet. It's still not here yet. Empty mailbox. Where's it at? Juju is a crybaby, exactly. Thank you for the 140 Rand super chat, or 199, 200 Rand. Thank you, Nicola. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that super chat. Yeah, he's got a slow puncture. He's definitely got a slow puncture. Malema, yeah, party said Malema was initially invited to speak at Cambridge in May, but was barred with good reason. The man is called for promoting terrorist organizations. Yep. Anyway. Labor migration policy is a legal powder keg. Well, you know why? Because it's already been declared unconstitutional, but they're trying again. The second bite of the apple, the ANC trying again. Yep. Yeah, we need a baby Juju. That's what we need. Provisions in the National Labor Migration Policy white paper for quotas limiting the hiring of foreigners in certain businesses and sectors is likely to be challenged in court. Well, limiting the number of white people is also going to be challenged in court. The National Employers Association of South Africa and Sekeling are seeking an interdict against the employment equity regulations published in April. But according to the media, it's only AfriForum, not AfriForum, but it's only the Democratic Alliance that's fighting this battle. No, lots of people are challenging the legality of this unconstitutional piece of legislation that they're putting forward, these quotas. Yep. The law says that this is illegal. Constitution. Eskom financial report indicates that they paid 10 million rand to board members. Hey, can I get that gig? I know about electricity. Can I be on your board? I want my slice of that 10 million rand. Yeah, and 3 billion in overtime. Overtime for what? There's no electricity. Eskom's board of directors was paid more than 10 million in board fees during the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Wow, while the entity's employees pocketed 3 billion in overtime payments at the same time. 3 billion. Keith, love your honest opinion. You're very welcome. 3 billion. Wow. That's a lot of kwan, or in this case, rand. Hey, folks, are you upset about the rates you're paying for electricity? Do you think you pay an unfair amount in South Africa for electricity? Are you paying too much? Is it too high? Hang on. Are you paying too much for electricity? Are they taking all your money? Is it pissing you off? Are you suffering? Is it just too much? Are you paying too much? Well, let me explain why you're paying too much. Because some South Africans are getting electricity free. Yeah, at your expense. Taking money out of your pocket. Money right out of your pocket to give free electricity to people. Why? What have they done to deserve it? Apparently electricity is a right. Yeah. City Power has launched a citywide registration campaign to enroll, to find people, to give them free electricity across Joburg for the free basic electricity program. The campaign, which has been running from Tuesday until the end of July, aims to register 130,000 low-income households. Once registered, eligible residents receive 50 kilowatts of electricity per month at no cost. Well, that's a lie. It's not at no cost. It's money taken out of your pocket to give these people free electricity. I want my free university, my free electricity, my free petrol, my free food. I want it all. Yeah. Commies. Yeah, it's not such thing as a free lunch, folks. No such thing as free lunch. You are subsidizing other people who are attacking you and denying you jobs, are giving free electricity to people. South Africa's water polo association has triumphed in a landmark case against Swimming South Africa. Swimming South Africa tried to regulate water polo, but they were neglecting it, so they went to court, and they have freedom of association. Yep. This win is important validation of the local water polo community's mission to restore purpose and world-class excellence to the sport we love so much. Today isn't just a win in the pool, it's a win for every player, coach, parent, and fan who believes in a better future for our sport. This is about standing up, standing together, breaking the shackles of inept administration, and building a brighter future. Congratulations. 90 people found living in a Houghton property meant for a single family, an upscale neighborhood. What is going on here? This is not the first time this has happened. A right collector is under arrest while law enforcement officials investigate the slumlord who let out sections of rooms in a house in the affluent area of Houghton, Joburg. An estimated 90 people were found on the property living in deplorable conditions, dividing the space with curtains to create makeshift rooms. Many documents were found to be foreigners. Surprise, surprise, not. Well, Botswana is looking for deeper relations with China as the socialist government turns to the east. Botswana's Minister of International Relations, Penyo Butale, has hailed 50 years of China-Botswana ties as mutually beneficial, voicing optimism with deepening relationship through strengthened collaboration in trade, development, and people-to-people exchanges. And then there's Botswana and there's China. Oh, sorry. The same China that built the flimsy railroads in South Africa and impregnated Bushmen, little girls. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Let's see, 962 likes on the video now. Zambia's ex-president Edgar Lunga's remains are stuck in South Africa. What is going on with this? He'll stay in South Africa amid tensions between the family and the government. The repatriation of former Zambian President Edgar Lungu's remains has been delayed due to rising tensions. The family accused the government of not consulting them over funeral arrangements and key decisions. Department of International Relations Cooperation confirmed that the repatriation did not take place on Wednesday. They're keeping him hostage. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa is keeping Edgar Lungu's remains hostage. What's going on there? Why is he being kept hostage? Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Excuse me. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? I'm in the middle of a live broadcast. Who is this? Okay, please send me a WhatsApp, okay? Thank you. That's all right. Take care. Bye-bye. It's a call from South Africa. I know my mic is on. I know my mic is on, Maddie. It was intentional. Yeah, that was a phone call from South Africa. I know my mic was on. I mean, it's just insane. Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, get a grip. I mean, honestly, people have no idea what's involved here. A thorough background investigation must be completed to prove who you are, where you're from, what you're saying is true. That has to take place. There's an administrative process that has to take place. Interviews have to be conducted. Medical screening has to be done. All this stuff takes time. Yeah, the volume, let's take a look and see. Yeah, no, volume is fine. There's nothing wrong with the volume. You're mistaken. You're mistaken. Lindy, people call me all the time. That's why this phone stays on silent 24 hours a day. I don't usually get calls from a phone number, but somebody called me from a phone number. I thought maybe it was important. My phone rings. I mean, I'm not talking about this person, but people are this is daytime, so no big deal. But people are incredibly insensitive. I get calls at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning from South Africans demanding to talk to me. I mean, it's, seriously? You're cold. Take my furniture kernel to bed, get warm. Okay. Press 1 now for 10 Rand free airtime. Exactly. Obviously, whoever is called doesn't watch my program. So that's another thing, folks. I've been incredibly generous with my time. There are thousands of people who are sending me email messages and WhatsApp messages and Telegram messages who don't watch my content. And they want answers. I have multiple phones, Jan. That's one phone. There's 2 SIM cards in this phone. This is another phone with another number. I have lots of phones. Lots of phones. Anyway, the DRC and Rwanda. Now back to the news, ladies and gentlemen. This just in. The DRC and Rwanda have a peace agreement. They've signed an initial thing, and they're going to get together next week. Next week. Yeah, so that's exciting to see. What's that going to look like? Let's take a look at that news. Now I'm all discombobulated. Here we go. All right. Rwanda and DRC technical teams initialed a draft peace agreement that's expected to be signed next week. The provisional agreement, by the way, the United States brokered this agreement. Did you know that? Yeah, the United States. The provisional agreement announced in the joint statement could mark the breakthrough in talks held by President Trump's administration and the fighting Eastern DRC. And billions of dollars of Western investment into the region could be following. Yeah, the Trump administration, the peacemakers. While the Democrats and the rhinos are crying about, Trump and Iran, Trump is busy making peace in the DRC, which nobody's achieved in over 30 years. Look at that. Look at that. Well, Yoweri Museveni will use military tribunals to try citizens. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has signed legislation that allows military tribunals to try civilians, a move that the opposition leaders say violates the Supreme Court ruling. Wow. In a ruling earlier this year, the East African country's Supreme Court banned the practice, calling it unconstitutional. Yeah, it is unconstitutional. But this is what happens in a fascist totalitarian state like Uganda, where I used to live. West Africa wants a deal with the Trump administration. But this travel ban is going to be a problem. Why? Fix your visas. Take your nationals back who overstay their visa stay and we send back to you. And share your criminal databases. And things will be copacetic. You want to just undermine international aviation safety and our immigration laws so you get a deal? No deal. No soup for you. Thank you, Nick. Nick, 34 months. No soup for you. Yeah. In Abuja, West African nations want to strike deals with the U.S. over energy and rare earth elements, but the Trump administration's looming expansion of travel bans risk derailing those efforts, according to Nigeria's foreign minister. President Trump this month implemented full or partial travel bans, and he's got a whole bunch more coming. This would be most unfortunate if it comes to pass because we're a region of opportunities ready to do deals. You know, you're a region full of economic migrants ready to invade Europe and North America. That's what you are, a region full of that and chaos. Burkina Faso, Niger, Mauritania, Mali, Nigeria, Chad, Cameroon, conflict everywhere. The region's on fire. The region's on fire. Niger targets jihadists. Well, that's some good news there. Their financing kills 13 illegal gold mine raids. Thank you, Jay Jordan, for becoming a member. Niger's army has raided jihadist-controlled informal mining sites in the country's west, killing more than a dozen insurgents and seizing material linked to the manufacture of improvised explosive devices, using gold to further terrorism. Iranian missile strikes a hospital in southern Israel. These are war crimes in the most serious kind, says Khamenei. Says Khamenei will be held accountable for the crimes. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz. Ludwig, 140 rand super chat. Thank you for that. Receive my email I sent today. I have no idea. I haven't looked at email today. I've been busy with interviews and other stuff. Yeah, no soup for you. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said today that Iranian leader Ali Khamenei cannot continue to exist after an Iranian missile struck a hospital in Beersheba. Wow. I've been to Beersheba. It's in southern Israel. So this is what the Iranians say in response. Earlier today, our armed forces accurately eliminated an Israeli military command and control, intelligence headquarters, and other vital target. The blast wave caused superficial damage to a small section of the nearby and largely evacuated Soroka military hospital. The facility is mainly used to treat Israeli soldiers engaged in the genocide in Gaza 25 miles away, where Israel has destroyed or damaged 94% of Palestinian hospitals. It is the Israeli regime and not Iran that initiated all this bloodshed, and it is Israeli war criminals and not Iranians who are targeting hospitals and civilians. Hundreds of innocent Iranians have been murdered in cold blood since Israel launched its illegal war against Iranian people last week. We call on Israelis to heed our evacuation orders before strikes and to avoid proximity to military and intelligence sites. Our powerful armed forces will continue to pummel the criminals who target our people until they cease and pay for their criminal aggression against our nation. Israel started this war. I'm sorry, 180 missiles fired at civilian targets in October of 2024. Who started this war, Iran? You started this war. It just took Israel several months to retaliate. Yeah, the Iranians are delusional. But that's Iran. That's what happens with a state sponsor of terrorism. The threat of a cyber attack. Now, did I not I amused about this a couple days ago when I said that the internet's acting all wonky. YouTube was acting weird. Other sites were acting weird. The point of sale systems were down at the local club. The voice over IP network was down there. Then I went to the supermarket and I couldn't pay, and I couldn't get my affinity number into the credit card machine because that one wasn't working. All over a couple days ago. And I mused on my program saying, are we being subjected to Iranian cyber attacks? Well, the Washington Times is now talking about it as a possibility. Threat of a cyber attack from Iran alarms security experts. Cybersecurity professionals are warning of an increased risk of hacks and digital attacks emanating from Iran that everyone needs to prepare for amid the escalating Iran-Israel war. Potential U.S. targets include critical infrastructure, American elected officials, and media outlets, according to Teresa Payton, former White House Chief Information Officer in the George W. Bush administration. Iran might first target energy and finance for maximum disruption, public pain points that cripple daily life. Yeah, well, there you go. That's kind of what I said happened the other day. Denial of service. Israel hits 2 Iranian nuke sites. The Israeli Air Force said the strikes also hit military production sites that produced and assembled ballistic missiles. The Israeli Air Force struck 2 more of Iran's nuclear sites on June 19th, including a nuclear reactor capable of producing weapons-grade plutonium and the country's largest uranium enrichment facility. Just before 5 a.m. local time in Tehran, the Israeli Defense Forces, on its Farsi language channel, issued a warning urging anyone within 2 kilometers of the Arak nuclear plant to evacuate immediately. Internet access across Iran has been cut for nearly 24 hours. There you go. So, Israel strikes back. Israel vows to intensify attacks after the attack on a hospital. Iran struck the largest hospital in southern Israel. The hospital said it was treating several patients with mild injuries. Israel's prime minister ordered a fierce response. There you go. Iran's Revolutionary Guards claimed that Iran had targeted Israeli military facilities near the hospital. The Israeli military did not respond. I don't know what's near that hospital, so I can't say. Donald Trump embraces Pakistan. There you go, folks. Donald Trump is embracing Pakistan. Are we losing viewers? What's going on? 1293. Well, people leaving. What's going on there? Why do you pop in and then leave so quickly? Anyway, welcome back. So, Trump embracing Pakistan's general. A tactical romance or a new inner circle? Al Jazeera wants to know. Trump hosted Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir for an unprecedented White House lunch as the U.S. and Pakistan reset ties. In his first address to a joint session of Congress on March 4th, after becoming United States president for a second time, Trump made a striking revelation. He referred to the deadly Abbey Gate bombing in Kabul, which occurred as thousands of Afghans tried to flee, and said the alleged perpetrator had been apprehended. And he credited Pakistan for helping get the person. China is flooding Brazil with electric vehicles, and it's not going over very well, triggering a backlash. China's BYD Shenzhen, the world's largest car-carrying ship, made its maiden voyage to Brazil. Brazil has become a top target for Chinese EV exports, according to shipping data. BYD has deployed a growing fleet of cargo ships to accelerate its expansion overseas, with Brazil becoming its top target. The late May shipment was the 4th in Chinese carmaker ships to dock in Brazil this year, totaling around 22,000 vehicles. So they're flooding the Brazilian market, and Brazil's not happy about it. The Swiss National Bank has lowered the prime lending rate to 0%, an indication their economy is not doing well. And they have not ruled out giving a negative rate, in other words, paying you to hold their money. Well, I'll take that. Swiss National Bank cut its interest rates to 0 on Thursday, or you pay to put your money in the bank. Did not rule out returning borrowing costs in negative territory, although it stressed this was not a step it would take lightly. The Swiss National Bank reduced its policy rate by 25 basis points from 0.25 to 0. 0% interest rates. You can borrow money with no interest. That's crazy. Senate Republicans don't have the votes to pass the big, beautiful bill. Don't have the votes. Ilona Mayer, thank you for becoming a member. Yep, Senate Republicans are short. They need 50 votes, and send it to Vance for the tiebreaker. They ended an abbreviated work week in Washington on Wednesday without having locked down enough support to pass President Trump's one big, beautiful bill ahead of the 4th of July deadline. The issues GOP leaders have been trying to resolve to get at least 50 of the 53 members to vote it are numerous. Yep. They include fiscal hawks, broad frustration about the measure's deficit impact, and more nuanced concerns from senators about the effect that cuts to Medicaid and other programs could have. So, the bill has not passed and has not gone to president. The United States will end the LGBT suicide prevention service, saying the general hotline is sufficient. President Trump's administration is ending funding for an LGBT suicide prevention hotline. It says encourages racial or radical gender ideology, a move that the project running the service calls devastating. The Trevor Project, a nonprofit that provides free specialized support for LGBT, said Wednesday that its hotline would soon close as a result of funding not being renewed. That's not a free hotline. I pay for that hotline. Those people can call the hotline. Any one of us can call if we have suicide issues. Why make special cases? I'm devastated and heartbroken. The Trevor Project received official notice the Trump administration has ordered the closure of the National LGBTQ plus Youth Suicide Lifeline in 30 days. Project CEO James Black said in a statement on Instagram, President's budget funds the 988 at $520 million, the same number as under President Biden. It does not, however, grant taxpayer money to a chat service where children are encouraged to embrace radical gender ideology. Interesting. Well, that's going to piss some people off. So, the Democrats, they're such lovely people. They care about everybody. We are the world. We are the children. It's true, we make a brighter day, just you and I. Let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. The caring, loving Democrats and the people on the political left. J.D. Vance joined a leftist social media site. He joined Blue Sky. The Vice President of the United States joined Blue Sky. Yes. J.D. Vance joins liberal social media site to unwelcome reception. J.D. Vance, Vice President, joined Blue Sky's social media platform Wednesday afternoon. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States, was suspended from Blue Sky Wednesday afternoon. Vance made his first post on the left-leaning Twitter substitute at 4:50 p.m., posting some excerpts from a Supreme Court decision on states' powers to regulate gender-affirming medical treatment for youths. And there it is. I just set up my page in Blue Sky. Hope to see you guys there. Hello, Blue Sky. I've been told this app has become a place to go for common sense political discussions and analysis. So I'm thrilled to be here to engage with you all, he wrote to accompany screenshots. He continued the thread with 2 more posts in his own words about the decision, its criticism, expert opinion, and possibly the experts being bought by Big Pharma. Within 20 minutes, his account had been suspended. Ah, the left. Loving, caring, generous people. We are the world. We are the children. We love everyone except conservatives, and we hate with all our heart. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. We hate the truth, and we won't let you on our site. Oh, my goodness. Oh, by 8 p.m., the account was restored. Oh, gosh. What a bunch of numbnuts, man. Leftists. The Bus family will sell a stake in the Lakers for $10 billion, folks. Wow. The Bus family is entering an agreement to sell a majority stake in Los Angeles Lakers, according to ESPN, marking the end of an era for one of the NBA's most influential owners. Mark Walters, CEO and chairman of the holding company TWG Global, is set to take a majority ownership under the agreement, which values the Lakers at $10 billion, making it the largest ever sale of professional sports team. The Boston Celtics recently sold for $6 billion to an investment group led by Bill Chisholm. The Lakers did not immediately respond for comment. The late Jerry Buss purchased the Lakers in 1979 and turned into one of the most popular franchises in all of professional sports, winning 5 championships during the now iconic Showtime era of the 1980s. His daughter, Jeannie Buss, took over as principal owner when he died in 2013, making her one of the most powerful women in sports. She'll stay on as governor after the sale. Lakers Hall of Famer point guard Irvin Magic Johnson, former player, coach, and executive with the team during Buss's tenure, congratulated the parties on reaching the agreement. Lakers fans should be ecstatic. I don't know why, just different owners. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Trump effect. Criminal alien invaders are leaving. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Never. Never. Criminal alien invaders are abandoning America in droves. Almost 1 million have fled America. So the question about whether there's room for South African refugees, 1 million criminals have left America. Exit, stage left, suffering succotash. Yes, Snagglepuss. Yes, the Trump effect study finds 1 million illegals have fled the United States since January. President Trump has not only stopped and reversed the Biden border surge. According to early Census Bureau data, suggests hundreds of thousands of criminal alien invaders have dropped out of the workforce and departed the country. Preliminary calculations by the Center for Immigration Studies used in the Census monthly survey show the number of immigrants, illegal aliens, in the labor force dropped by 600,000 from January to May. And the overall number of illegal aliens fell by 957,000 in the same period. Celebrate good times. Come on. We got a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gonna celebrate your party for you. Come on now, celebration. Oh yeah. Cool in the gang. Celebrate. 1 million criminal alien invaders gone. Bugger off. Bugger off. 31 million to go. That's right. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. Woo! Yeah. Looks like there's been a Trump effect on the number of criminals invading our country. Oh, they figure there's 14.8 million illegal immigrants in America. Yeah, there's more than that. Wow. I think it's good news, particularly for the less educated Americans who are likely to see a rise in wages. Maybe it'll even be helpful in dragging some of these non-college educated men into the workforce. Exactly. Oh, the Trump effect. And the Trump administration has restored student visas for foreign students after reviewing the situation. El Marie Mayor, Chris, if Israel hits nuclear places, will the nuclear not leak? No. There'll be radiation leaks, but it's not going to be what you think. Student Visa State Department intends to review the social media accounts of foreign citizens who apply for students visiting scholar visas, and it resumes processing those applications. Should have been doing this all along. Why were we not looking at the social media accounts of these urchins who want to attend our university? Microsoft is laying off thousands of employees, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, the great Satan himself. Company's layoffs are expected to start in July and will target sales and other departments. Microsoft is planning to lay off several thousand employees in the next few weeks. Reductions of 1,000 jobs will affect its sales and other teams. The number of cuts isn't yet final. The latest round of layoffs comes on top of roughly 6,000 roles the company eliminated in May across their product and software developer roles around the world. Well, that ain't good. Microsoft sells AI tools to other firms that are meant to automate some tasks and has been investing heavily in data centers. They had about 228,000 employees at the end of last fiscal year in June of 2024, with roughly 45,000 of them in sales and marketing. They eliminated another 10,000 jobs back in January 2023. Microsoft is going on the Malema diet. Microsoft is on the Malema diet. SpaceX says no one's injured after Starship kaboomed again. Ooh, my goodness. FAA says not comment on the explosion. A SpaceX Starship rocket exploded in a fireball during a testing at Starbase facility in southern Texas on Wednesday while on a stand preparing for its 10th flight. Wow. This was pretty crazy, folks. Let me see if I still have the video on that. Oh, it's not there. I know I have it somewhere. Let me see if I have it. Downloads. No, that's not what I want. Here it is. I don't have it there. We have to go to X to get it. Okay, hang on a second. Starship. Man, this was on the, that didn't even take off. They were just on the ground. And it was the most impressive explosion yet because it had all the fuel on it. Oof, man. Not good. This was ugly. Here we go. Here we go. Check this out, folks. Check this out. You ready? This was something else. And I didn't cover this last night because I couldn't live stream, so I couldn't cover it. So it kind of sucked. Here you go. There you go. Let's all right, here you go. Watch this. Ooh, damn! Look at that, man. Wow. That is definitely a rapid, unscheduled disassembly, if you've ever seen one. Kaboom! Oh, there's the next round. Look at that. My goodness. Hybo is right. Woo, man. Man, oh man. That is definitely a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. That is the most impressive one yet. Wowzer is right. Man, look at that. That's insane. What a fireball. That is pretty hectic. That is hectic, folks. Now, let's find one with sound. There's one with sound here. That's... Some idiot says, a colossal waste of taxpayer money. End the Starship program and fund cancer research. It's not a colossal waste of money. It's not paid for by the government. Oh, here you go. Here's another one. Man, this one's wild. Blue Dream. How long does this one go? For 22 seconds. Okay, let's listen to this one.
Probably. I mean, even the other day when they... Whoa!
Whoa! What? That's
no!
Jeez! Look at this! Looks like a freaking nuclear explosion.
My God.
It appears there has been a
Ship
row.
36 just blew up. I mean, even the other day when they...
Gee, many crickets. That was hectic. Oof. Man, oh man, oh man. Starship. They're building the next one. Starship test vehicle. Someone's being funny, 37. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Alrighty, folks, that's the news for today. We're at still 1,237 people. Be sure to hit the like button. You believe they would release a cure for cancer? You got jokes. I wonder what the temps are at the core of the blast. Yeah, thousands of degrees, no doubt. Yeah, skid marks, no doubt. Predict America for that guy. Viper, thank you for your membership. I noticed a trend. A lot of people are sticking around who've joined. Thank you for that. Let me take a look at members. I'm just curious how many members we have. I haven't looked at this in a while. Memberships. We have currently 1,819 members on the channel. Wow, that's the most we've ever had is 1,884. So we're just below that. So yeah, thank you all for that to be members here. Really appreciate it. And we've gone over 103,000 subscribers during this live stream. Wow, cool beans. 103,013 subscribers, and we got videos to make today, which tend to get some more subscribers. Pierce explosion was ignited from the top of the rocket. I don't know. That's me after eating hot curry. There's 3 different membership levels, Nats. You go for the join button. One is like $3 a month. So yeah, but you don't have to become a member. I appreciate people becoming members. It's helpful, but being a subscriber is the most important thing. Yep. But yeah, just look right below the video. There's a join button. You click on that and it'll give you 3 options. Okay. In fact, let me pull that up. I'll do it and show you. YouTube, on my channel here. Come on, faster. Come on. I want my channel. Why doesn't it take me there? Okay, now we'll do it. Your channel. Here we go. Okay. So, this is a PC, so it's a little bit different. Where's the member? It doesn't show me the membership here. Well, that's interesting. Oh, membership. Here we go. Well, it's showing what it looks like to me, but not. Anyway, I'm not getting into it, so I have to be logged out to see what you're seeing. So anyway, yeah, see me. But you can get there. Heat must be intense. Yeah, no doubt there was some seriously intense heat there. That one increase. Yes, insurance premiums are definitely going to go up. Hello, Allstate. This is SpaceX. We were looking to renew our policy. Click. You think it's alien sabotage and don't want us to get Alpha Centauri? Don't like to see rockets exploding. Reminds me of the explosion in the 80s. And I think there's oh yeah, that's the Challenger. Yeah, remember that. Rapid unscheduled disassembly. Indeed, Rhino Girl. Can't link my SpaceX tour. Yeah, hello, SpaceX. Hello. I'd like to get my deposit back for that flight to Mars. Can I get that? And well, I can't. It's not refundable. Okay. Well, can I transfer it? Can I transfer my deposit? If I can transfer my deposit, then I'd like to apply it to Julius Malema. Yeah. First available Starship to Mars. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, folks, I've just called Boca Chica launch facility, and I've transferred my reservation on Starship to Mars to Julius Celo Malema. I mean, I think it's only fair. I'm trying to help Juju out. I mean, after all, he can't go to the United Kingdom. Soon won't be able to go to the United States. So, I mean, he's going to want to go somewhere. So, why not Mars? Why not Mars? Where's all the black-owned businesses after 31 years? Seems like South Africa's been taken for a ride. It has, Buster B, been taken for a ride. SpaceX has been pushing boundaries so they can figure out the bugs. Yeah, well, I don't know what boundary they're pushing there, unless they're that's a serious boundary. That's a kaboom. Hey, Hendo, we love the kaboom videos, but I can't find it. SpaceX, I can't find their stream, so I can download that and use it because everyone else has put their banners and everything on. I don't want to get copyright claims, so if someone can send me the link to wherever SpaceX, because SpaceX's channel, they had 2 channels, and one of them I found, and it's got nothing from within last year, so I assume it was a fuel leak, probably. Colonel's been visiting Snoop Dogg. Copyright infringement, what, for me singing? Or in all this chat, there was someone who said, apply with reference to Kawar. Oh, no idea. Apparently there was a massive explosion in the mountains of Tehran. Okay, well, let me check that out very quickly. News. News. Let's see anything. Oh, my stomach's talking to me here. No mention of it here. Let me go to the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal. Nope. No change. So I don't know what this massive explosion was. Okay. 19 million to go, exactly. They're making a place for us. Exactly, folks. All the South African left are puddings and treats. Has anyone made one, eaten one? Nope. Just had to be a subject of stock being stolen day before yesterday. Official helping me do an amazing job, but her peers slowing the process. Another case of police failing the people. Sorry to hear that, Gerard Jansa van Vuren. So sorry to hear that. So loud, but I don't like the response. Try the one in the Huguenot. Huisgenutz? I don't read that magazine. Okay, what's Blue Sky? Blue Sky is a lefty social media thing created by Facebook, I think, to try to combat Elon Musk and Twitter, which didn't work. It failed miserably. Yep. Yeah, stomach's making noise there, man. Okay, I haven't eaten. Who's Emily D. Baker? Andres 7 super chat. When you fly long haul, what do you say is essential to take? Medication, dental floss, cash, identification, some snacks for the flight, reading material, magazines, maybe a thin book, magazines for certain, your mobile phone, a charger for your phone, carry that with you. These are the essentials. Some tablets for headaches, whether it's paracetamol or Tylenol or ibuprofen. All of that's essential. And then also carry, remember that you're going opposite seasons, so carry something on your person if you're going from summertime to wintertime, from U.S. to South Africa right now. Make sure you've got a sweater or a hoodie you're carrying with you so you can put it on when you arrive. And vice versa, the opposite direction. So that's what you need on long-haul flights. Long-haul flights are tough. Also, a lot of people can sit the whole time, but I can't. I have to get up and move around. Yep. Days of Thunder earplugs. Earplugs? I don't face mask now. Some people like face masks. Earplugs are definitely a good thing to take with you. If you have your own earphones you can plug into those jacks, that's good, instead of using the ones from airline. Yep. Water and a phone charger. You don't need to take water. There's water on the plane. Why carry something you don't need to carry? I work in NDT, non-destructive testing. We specialize in testing metallurgical inspections. Every time I see airplane crashes and rockets explode, the inspector is always blamed. Really? I've never seen inspectors blamed. I follow a lot of those airplane crashes and the National Transportation Safety Board reports. I read a lot of those things. Pillow? Well, you get a pillow on the flight, but some people don't like that pillow. I never use pillows on the flight. What do you take to amuse kids? Well, these days you can take a tablet with earphones so they can keep busy. Yep. And make sure you got a power bank with you so you can recharge that. Although in the newer planes, the 787s and things like that, the A350s, you've got jacks to plug them in, but they charge so slowly you're going to want to take a power bank. I always take a big power bank. Yep. Where I said warm top already. Plenty of alcohol. You don't need to take any alcohol, Deval. The alcohol is available on the planes. Alexia says I should create a program that fast tracks people because I was asked when we're leaving. Well, the response I would give is Alexia said, when are you leaving? Then they look at you strange and said, well, Cameroon's calling. Cameroon is calling. Are you an Nguni speaking person? Why aren't you leaving? That could be a song. I could do an AI song. Cameroon is calling. All the Nguni speaking peoples are being recalled to Cameroon. Yep. No, Marissa, his hamster's not there. How am I? I say, Charlie, I'm okay. I don't recommend sedatives. Some people do that. People are afraid of flying. There's issues. But I mean, that's why do you want to be, not quite there on a flight where people steal things on flights. That happens, so. Some people need compression socks. Yeah, I can't stand wearing those things. They're hideous. Yep. Beach Boys song. It's a big, beautiful bill going to pass. Buster, I just covered that. I just said that it's in the Senate and it doesn't have the 50 votes. They're not going to pass in its current form. They're going to have to revise it. We all need Elon Musk to send an invitation to Malema for a flight. Yeah, exactly. Will Trump invade Iran? Highly unlikely, Michael. Highly unlikely. Why would we put boots on the ground in Iran? There's nothing to be gained by that. Nothing. Iran has nothing we want. Nothing. No. Will the U.S. attack Iran? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. But a ground invasion, highly unlikely. 340 pounds. You're a big fellow there, Christo. No wonder you're a Sharks fan. Will aspirin do for blood clots? Do a long sit? Well, I'm not a physician, Raven. I'm not going to recommend that. But I do know that aspirin thins blood. And some people get a prescription for it to keep their blood from who have a habit of blood clots. Yep. So, but I'm not an expert. I choose a window seat. Window seat can work on some flights, but 17 hours, it's a tough one. Leaving on a jet plane song started to play in my head now. Kyle Lehman will post to F1. Well, that's what Gate McKenzie was hoping to do. We'll see if it happens. Anthony did watch the news last night. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Buster B says no tax cut. No. I mean, Buster B, calm down. They will pass a bill. They just haven't passed the bill yet. And the tax cuts are not really what are on the chopping board. The question is about the Medicaid cuts and a number of other issues. Yep. So hang in there. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Companies will sell the lawsuits to keep them from going to court so the airlines do not close down. Same thing with hospitals so no one gets held accountable, says PK. Is Ronell here? I didn't see Ronell. As long as I have knitting, okay. Where is Ronell? I don't see Ronell. Somebody said Ronell. Oh, there's Ronell. Don't sleep much watching these trials, especially when they go late in the day, U.S. time. Judge Bev. Who is Judge Bev? I don't know who Judge Bev is. You guys are watching these courtroom things. Heinrich Havange. Every time Rob opposes him or Malema flies somewhere, I raise a glass and say, ooh. Blue sky is bleeding out. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Charles, you're not going to recognize my singing. Yep. Sure that Julius would appreciate a ticket to the sun. Well, he wants to go at night, so it's in the shade. Simone says Simon says this is what I tuned in for. Okay, I sent you an email. Let me look in my email because people are talking about sending me emails. I haven't done it yet. So, hang on a second here. Come on. Okay, now we're back to that. So, email. Okay. Someone sent me a note and says that they gifted a subscription and then they started getting billed by Google for things. I have no control over that, folks. No control. I have no control. So yeah, if you get billed by YouTube, I have no control over it. Whether it's this channel or another channel. I can't reimburse the money. I can't do anything. Mashatili Cater training. Is this the one? Okay, I have no control of that. The International Department of Central Committee of the CPC. Meets with Liu Jianchao. No, we know they do that. That's one of the basis for Trump's executive order. He talked about that. Yep. Off reform the Baklata people agreement. Cool. To check that out on AfriForum's website. Thank you for that. And thank you for membership, whoever that was. Juju will be banned from Mars. Maybe. Let's see. Thank you, Wimpy Janssen von Rensburg. Got someone trying to claim I got an antivirus program from them on email. Just delete it, yeah. No, I got a thing last night telling me that my credit card with Amazon was expired. And it looks like it's from Amazon, but when you hover over the email address, it's not from Amazon. Yeah, there's lots of rumors, Eileen, that they gave them nuclear material. There's no evidence of it, though. Lots of people are saying that. Evacuate citizens from Iran by road collapsed after Pretoria taxi drivers torched the rescue buses. Yeah, Juju can't even get to the UK. How's he going to get to Mars? Well, I'm sponsoring him. That's how he's going to get there. Me and the other four voices in my head said that we will be entertained on the plane, says Johan Blingdon. Okay. All righty. Does Trump have the authority to launch strikes on Iran without Congress passing it? Yes, he does. War Powers Act. He has the authority. Yep. This has been debated. It's been challenged in court. It's done and dusted. Trump can do it. Of course, we've done it before. We don't need Congress to approve those sorts of things. Trump took out Soleimani. That didn't require congressional approval. Yep, he fired a missile into Iraq to kill Soleimani. He got him. He also got al-Baghdadi. Did that. Obama fired thousands of missiles from drones killing American citizens in Yemen and other things. Never had congressional approval. Harmonic heading. University next to the hospital in Israel. Dave Wilson says, will the first point of contact be US RAP, be a call, an email? Your phone was stolen today. Well, that sucks, David Wilson. That, to me, would seem to be a basis for contacting them again. I mean, I don't know how you do it other than fill out another statement. I've told people not to fill out statements of interest, but if your phone is stolen, can't you get the SIM card back? I mean, the number, it's your number. Contact the provider and get your SIM card back. Yeah. I mean, they'll block the SIM card and keep your number. Yep. Yeah, Obama fired off more missiles. He committed more crimes than you can imagine. I mean, he killed American citizens extrajudicially. No court order, no sentence, no judgment. He just fired missiles into Yemen and murdered American citizens. Now, to be fair, they were terrorists and they were naturalized American citizens, but and his son was born in America, but they nonetheless were murdered without a trial by Obama. Nothing happened. Ooh, William Wheeler got a new passport. Cool beans. Yeah, SIM swap. There you go, Alexa. Whatever it's called there. Yeah, do a SIM swap. Do it quickly so you have your number. All right? Borrow a phone from somebody so you can stick it in the phone to get it done. South African government is like a big station master on a small siding. They're good for sweet Fanny. Live chat's working fine. The channel's working fine. Yep, we're down to 1,100 people watching the channel right now. So thank you all for the super chat so far. And thank you for the memberships and 11 new members on the stream. Wow. There's no mention of anything by NC, so it definitely happened. Okay, why are you thanking Arctic? What did Arctic do? Yeah, well, I already answered that question. Where's Auntie Floyd? I don't know. Auntie Floyd was here yesterday, I thought. Anyway, so yeah. SA did have a nuclear program during part. That's correct. They actually had nuclear weapons. South Africa tested a nuclear device in the South Atlantic. They sure did. It's hot there. Where is it hot? On Mars? Depends on the season. White House is having press briefing. Are you going to watch it? Let me go see. I go to White House. White House. That'll be good to see. Hasn't started yet. Hasn't started. So I've got it up. If it comes up, we'll do it. How are the dating waters? What kind of question is that, Anonymous? What do you want to date? Canines, ladies, trans, boys? What do you want to date? Ooh, passports came from Amazon, Texas. A lot of people getting passports. Home Affairs Leon Schreiber doing his best to help people get out of the country. And I will be getting something in the mail tomorrow. Yay! Phoenix 2 sets noise canceling. Bring on the screaming babies. That's funny. That's funny. So yeah, there's 465 likes and it hasn't even started yet. I love that. Look at that. People love in the White House. But they still claim there's only 2.5 million subscribers to this White House channel. That's nonsense. I'm subscribed. Let me just update the all notifications. Okay. And there's Anti-Floyd. Someone's just asking after you. And yours is ready for collection. There you go, folks. Protect your documents. Well, that's the State Department, Lindy. This is the White House. White House briefing is set to start shortly. It's broadcasting live right now. I don't know what the holdup is. I thought she usually did 2 p.m. So, SIM swap. There you go, Dave Wilson. Yeah, good luck with that. Sort it out. Yeah, so this one here has 2 SIM cards in it. So this is my older Samsung, and I use this for South Africa. So I got 2 SIM cards, dual SIM card. In fact, there's another SIM card right there. There's an MTM SIM card right there. That's the old one. Put it there. Yep, definitely invest in those. Can't deal with all the crybabies. Supreme Wing Commander. What are you talking about? Flagpoles in front of the White House. Yeah, those are Trump paid for those out of his pocket, apparently. ANC are very quiet. Yes, they are. Forfeited a week's leave to pay for passport and unabridged birth certificate. Well, Tom, it's if you're trying to get out, you got to have it. So it will be worth your money, I would imagine. Yep. Trump signing trade agreement with Starmer has something to do with Little Red chanting. I think so, Erica. And I said so. I said so in my video. You guys not watching my content, man. How many people watch that? That video, we got 29,000 views on that. So I talked about that yesterday. Let me see. We got an advert here. Limu, Emu, and Doug. Liberty Mutual. Liberty Bibberty. Yeah, there you go. Skip this. Welcome back. This is Chris in central Pennsylvania. The chickens are finally coming home to roost for Julius Malema. After years of inciting racial hatred and violence against white minority South Africans, expressing his solidarity for terror groups around the world, Malema finally facing the consequences of his abhorrent behavior. In this case, being denied a visa for a second time for entry into the United Kingdom. Those keeping up with events will know that in May of 2025, the United Kingdom's High Commission denied him a visa to attend a conference at Cambridge University on Africa Together, citing a... So that video talks about my supposition that Keir Starmer is trying to curry favor with Donald Trump, like so many others are. I want to date a Texas lady. Okay. Good for you. Yeah, I've got 10% likes on that. So it's 27,000 views and 2,600 likes. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but not nearly as many views as I'd like to see on that video. So, and today we've dropped down consistently. So we got to get some videos out here to keep it going. To keep it going, folks, you got to keep it's a never-ending struggle. Just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. So today is the 19th. We've got another 11 days in this month to go. Was screaming at laughter when you're pulling that John Travolta video together. Yeah, I'm working on it. So start USA General Knowledge quiz. See how well we do on our USA Knowledge. Well, we've done that before on here. I've done that many times. People just got forums that say people will send your home. What's this? No idea what that's about. Yes, Conrad, I say that all the time. When the month comes around, we're already halfway through the year. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, so we've gone over 103,000 subscribers. Thank you all for that. If you're not a subscriber and you're watching content right now, stop being a freeloader. Hit the subscription button. It doesn't cost anything to be a subscriber. It's free. Free. Let's see. We've got... nothing's gone over 100,000 since the 15th. Wow. So 4 days. Okay. Yep. That's Angie Musheka. So I'm not getting 200,000 views anymore. So YouTube is, most of these are views from existing subscribers. So not a lot of people. Sona Bloom asked on here about the phone call or email. Where we live is a farm. Okay. We're sort of screwed now. We're so hoping we get emails as well. Well, Sona Bloom, I don't have an answer for you other than what I understand is they contact both. I've answered that question 10,000 times. What do you mean you've asked on here? I've answered it. I've answered it over and over and over again. It's also mentioned in my prepared videos. And this isn't a refugee session, but I've just generously and kindly answered your question again. Need to push through. Yep. 20 cases rising from the Zonda report finished involving 17 audit firms and registered auditors. No idea what's going on with that. Nancy's so quiet. Afrikaan is saying still waters. Yeah. Well, Hamas's missiles dry up now, or is Iran failing? Hamas, they haven't been really firing anything into Israel lately, as far as I know. Inkwell Odyssey is very charming. No, Sona Bloom. Yeah, I don't know where you're getting conflicting stories. You're not getting conflicting stories from here. We've been consistent. No reason to apologize. No reason to apologize. I'm just saying, you the way your question was, your statement was posted, it was almost pointedly as if you're being ignored. You're not being ignored. I didn't see anything from you, and I've answered the question before. So no need for you to apologize. And I don't know where you're getting conflicting information from. The only place you get information from is U.S. Embassy website. That's the only place you're going to get the actual correct information, and you can get analysis of what's going on there from here. And I've been correct, but that doesn't mean I could be wrong about something. So I made a video about this again. When did I do that? I did it yesterday. Was it yesterday? Let me see. So South Africans rush for refugee spots in the USA. That's the one I just did. That one only has 35,000 views. So here you go. This one I did, and I talked about this very issue right here.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Chris in Central Pennsylvania. Okay, she's back. There she is.
President Trump's powerful efforts to secure our homeland are working. According to newly released numbers, last month, Border Patrol saw a 93% decrease of illegal aliens crossing the southwest border between ports of entry from May 2024 under Joe Biden, when they encountered more than 117,000 illegal aliens. And this particular statistic is absolutely astounding. In the month of May, under the Trump administration, 0 illegal aliens were released into our country by Border Patrol. Let me say that again. Not a single illegal alien was released into the interior of the United States of America last month under this administration. Let's contrast that to Joe Biden's failed leadership, where immigration officers were wasting their finite time and resources processing dangerous illegal aliens for release into the United States. President Trump immediately terminated that reckless Biden-era practice that undermined the rule of law, jeopardized public safety and our national security, and diverted critical resources away from stopping deadly drugs and violent criminals from entering our country. That's the reason why not a single illegal alien was released into the interior of the United States in the month of May. And as a result, we now have a border that is reaching unprecedented levels of operational success. The efforts by President Trump to stop the illegal immigrant invasion and secure the border in this short amount of time represent one of the greatest achievements by a presidential administration in the history of our great country. With illegal entries being overwhelmingly halted, the Trump administration is dramatically ramping up efforts to arrest and deport all of the millions of criminal illegal aliens that Joe Biden let into our country over the past 4 years. President Trump has directed all of our ICE officers to do everything in their power to carry out the single largest mass deportation operation in history. Illegal criminals who are hiding in America's largest so-called sanctuary cities will be increasingly targeted for removal. Radical Democrats will no longer be allowed to shelter illegals who threaten public safety as part of their cynical efforts to expand political power, drain the American taxpayer, and artificially lower wages and steal American jobs. ICE officers are courageous heroes, upholding the rule of law and keeping our citizens safe. And they have the full and unwavering support of this president. In economic news, President Trump's pro-growth agenda is delivering for the American worker. Through the first 5 months of the Trump administration, real blue-collar wages are up nearly 2%.
1.7%.
The strongest growth in nearly 60 years, and a stark contrast from the negative wage growth seen during the first 5 months of the Biden administration. America is quickly returning to the successful formula of the first Trump administration: low inflation and rising wages. Once the big, beautiful bill is passed, this positive trend will only accelerate. Senate Republicans are continuing to push this critical legislation forward. The One Big Beautiful Bill will drive growth and supercharge the American economy. The Council of Economic Advisors found that the One Big Beautiful Bill will raise take-home pay by nearly $14,000 for a year for the average family of 4. The CEA also found that the One Big Beautiful Bill will increase wages as much as $11,000 for the average worker in America. The One Big Beautiful Bill expands the child tax credit and
Thank
makes
you
it permanent for
for the
more
super
than
sticker,
40
140
million
rand.
families with children. And the bill will deliver no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and substantial tax cuts for our incredible seniors. Simply put, the One Big Beautiful Bill is a massive win for middle-class Americans. When nearly 80 million Americans sent President Trump back to this White House, they were doing so expecting these popular policies to be enacted. Republicans in Congress have a mandate to deliver, and President Trump demands they send this historic bill to his desk for signature by Independence Day, July 4th. The American people are fully behind President Trump. According to brand new polling from Insider Advantage, a clear 54% majority of Americans approve of the job President Trump is doing. That's because this president is keeping his promises and taking action every day to improve their lives. And passing this bill will help fulfill a number of President Trump's core campaign promises. Now, regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today.
Next 2 weeks.
So we'll kick it off for questions here in our new media seat.
Next 2 weeks.
We have Eli Lake from the Free Press.
He's
Eli,
giving around a date.
Great.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
The Free Press. The decision to extend the, I guess, delay in enforcing the TikTok ban.
Sure.
Can you talk about how the White House understands its constitutional authority
Thank you,
in
Ms.
light
Lee.
of the
50
Supreme
rand.
Court's decision in January that said that the president had to?
That's the seat I don't
Sure.
get.
Well, as
I'll
all
turn
of
to
you know,
media.
because the president put it out on his Truth Social today, he did sign an executive order to extend the TikTok ban for 90 days. So in the effort to make a deal, and the White House counsel and the Department of Justice have reviewed this executive order, and I can get it for you. I think it's on our website by now. If it's not, my team will now put it up immediately, and you can read the language in that executive order. And the White House counsel's office and the Department of Justice strongly believe in the legal rationale for this executive order. They wouldn't have the president's pen hit it if they didn't. And the political reasoning for this, of course, is because the president made a promise
Well, she
to
looks
keep
like she's on
TikTok
amphetamines
There are 100 million Americans
bouncing.
who use this app. It's wildly popular. He also wants to protect Americans' data and privacy concerns on this app, and he believes we can do both things at the same time. So he's making an extension so we can get this deal done.
Can I get a follow-up?
Sure.
A few weeks ago, Tucker Carlson reported on a meeting between the president and Mark Levin and others at the White House. Is there a leak investigation, and can you say who else was in that meeting?
I'm not aware of a leak investigation at this time. I, for one, do not reveal details about the president's private meetings without his permission to do so. But certainly the president does not like when people leak. He takes that very seriously. This entire administration takes that seriously, and that's why you've seen at agencies some of the cabinet secretaries have been given.
Dion Meyer, do you honestly think that Russia is the only country with scientists working to help Iran get nuclear weapons? Look a little closer to home.
Go ahead.
Caroline, thank you. So Rhino warmonger Lindsey Graham, he recently called on the U.S. to go all in.
That's quite the lead to a question.
Right. What's your message to everyday Trump supporters? Not the Tucker Carlsons or other big names, but everyday Trump supporters, grassroots who voted for
Yeah, I don't like
Trump
this question.
to
It's
stop
very
the war,
partisan.
rejected this in the primary, going into another war with voting against Nikki Haley.
Look at the mainstream media. They're so pissed they're not being called on in the front row.
Trust in President Trump. President Trump has incredible instincts, and President Trump kept America and the world safe in his first term as president in implementing a peace through strength foreign policy agenda. And with respect to Iran, nobody should be surprised by the president's position that Iran absolutely cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. He's been unequivocally clear about this for decades, not just as president, not just as a presidential candidate, but also as a private citizen. In fact, I have some quotes for you. In 2011, President Trump said, America's primary goal with Iran must be to destroy its nuclear ambitions. We cannot allow this radical regime to acquire a nuclear weapon that they will either use or hand off to terrorists. In 2015, the president said the problem is that Iran poses an existential threat to Israel, our Middle Eastern allies, and the United States. And of course, the president has repeated that in his first term as president and his second term as president as well. That's why he was adamantly opposed to the disastrous Iranian nuclear agreement that was implemented by President Obama. And it's why he has given great latitude and given a lot of effort to achieving a diplomatic solution. But he's been very clear. Iran went for 60 days when he gave them that 60-day warning without coming to the table. On day 61, Israel took action against Iran. And as I just told you from the president directly, he will make a decision within 2 weeks.
A follow-up?
Sure. Go ahead, Natalie.
Thanks, Caroline. Can you confirm whether Steve Witkoff has been in touch with the Iranian foreign minister? And does Witkoff plan to go to Geneva tomorrow for talks?
I am not tracking that on Mr. Witkoff's travel schedule, but I can certainly check in with him to be sure. As for correspondence between the United States and the Iranians, I can confirm that correspondence has continued. As you know, we were engaged with 6 rounds of negotiations with them in both indirect and direct ways.
Thanks, Kelly. Just to clarify the president's statement just now, when he says that he'll make a decision in the next 2 weeks, is he saying that if Iran does not come back to the negotiating table within the next 2 weeks, that the president will strike?
The president is saying that he will make a decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. It's very clear.
Simple as that.
And is he seeing any signs of progress? He obviously is holding out hope for negotiations, but is he seeing any inklings of progress that give him that hope?
Why would he share that?
Possible?
Well, that's why he said in the statement that I just read for all of you, based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place.
That's exactly. Why do they ask these stupid questions?
In the near future, he will make that decision within the next 2 weeks.
What makes him think there's still a substantial chance, is my question.
I'm not going to get into
Chris, so you're going to get a timeout if you
rationale the
don't
president
stop
believes
with
that,
your
but that's his position, and he will make a
drooling
decision
over
within
people.
the next 2 weeks.
This isn't a drool session.
President Trump has said previously in regard to Russia, he's used this phrase about 2 weeks several times in terms of like, we expect like a 2-week deadline and then you give another 2-week deadline. How can we be sure that he's going to stick to this one on making a decision on Iran?
Well, in those deadlines, as you've seen in respect to Russia, Ukraine, might I add, these are 2 very different, complicated global conflicts, as you know, that the president inherited from our previous incompetent president in the weakness of the previous administration. And the president has spent a tremendous amount of time and effort cleaning up these crises that were caused by the last administration's just complete dereliction of duty on the world stage and American weakness. Now we have American strength again. With respect to Russia and Ukraine, because of that American strength and the president's leadership, we have seen these 2 sides engage in direct negotiations. And the last time the president said 2 weeks, you saw Russia and Ukraine have direct negotiations for the first time in years. And so the president is always interested in a diplomatic solution to the problems and the global conflicts in this world. Again, he is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add. Francesca.
Thanks, Caroline. What exactly would a deal with Iran need to entail?
No enrichment of a uranium, and it would absolutely not. Iran is not absolutely not able to achieve a nuclear weapon. The president has been very clear about that. And by the way, the deal that Special Envoy Witkoff proposed to the Iranians was both realistic and acceptable within its terms, and that's why the president is sent that deal to them.
To follow up on what you told Natalie, are the talks that the United States is currently having with Iran direct, or are those through intermediaries? And if so, which countries are acting as the intermediary?
Usually the Swiss do it on our behalf.
Out of respect for the ongoing discussions and negotiations, I am not going to get
Usually
into the
Switzerland
details
does it
of
on
them.
our behalf.
We've provided you confirmation for now. Go ahead. Sure, and then behind you too.
Oh,
Go ahead.
thanks. Sorry. On the topic of negotiations and talks, does the president have any hopes or specific expectations for the talks tomorrow between European foreign secretaries and their Iranian counterpart?
Well,
I'd like to know why there's so
the
few
entire
white
world
people
is
in
on
the
the
room.
president's side
75%
when it
of
comes
the country
to
is
the
white.
fact that Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. This is something that pretty much all of humanity, except for the Iranian terrorist regime themselves, agree upon. And so the president expects that Europe will deliver that message directly to the Iranians.
Why does President Trump believe that this 90-day extension on TikTok will provide more runway perhaps than the previous extension?
Maybe the negotiations have advanced, genius.
Because it's more time to make a good deal. Simple question. Dasha?
Thank you so much. I know things are going day by day. Right now, the president wants maximum optionality. Is the possibility of the U.S. getting involved in regime change in Iran at all on the table at this point?
That's a good question.
Sure. The president's top priority right now is ensuring that Iran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon and providing peace and stability in the Middle East.
On Medicaid, Caroline,
Sure.
the Senate put forward Medicaid provisions, particularly a lower cap on state provider taxes that hospitals have said would lead to mass closures, particularly in rural communities. Is the president willing to sign a bill that includes those provisions that Republican senators like Josh Hawley say will lead to hospital closures?
Out of respect for the ongoing discussions that the White House is very much actively involved in with our friends in the United States Senate, I won't comment on that specific provision. Look, the bill hasn't been sent to the president's desk yet. There's more room for change. The president, for one, I will reiterate, has been very clear on his priorities with respect to Medicaid. He wants to see waste, fraud, and abuse ridden from the system to protect it for tax-paying citizens who deserve those much-needed benefits.
Eddie, that's not exactly an accurate statement. The United States military has shot down multiple missiles and drones to protect Israel. We've not engaged in offensive operations, but we've been protecting Israel. It's a matter of public record.
Of this program to preserve it and protect it and strengthen it for the American people, and the president has been very clear in that message to his friends in the Senate. Jackie.
Thank you, Caroline.
Sure.
Logistically, if the Iranians are getting to Geneva, does that mean they've found a way to get to the White House?
I am not going to get into hypotheticals, but as you heard from the president yesterday, they have expressed interest in doing so.
Philip. Pressure on the president to come to the aid of Israel. There's a lot of pressure on him to finish the job with force. How is he balancing the concern that if he doesn't choose to do that, that it would send a message to Xi Jinping about the U.S. commitment to Taiwan?
Well, the president enjoys a very respectful and cordial relationship with China's president. He has long maintained that, even in his first term. And China and the United States share many strategic interests, both in terms of economics and also, of course, global affairs and foreign policy as well. However, when it comes to balancing these different viewpoints, the president is balancing a lot of viewpoints, and he is listening not just to other world leaders, but to his advisors and to people here in the country and the American people too. And I think that's what makes this president such a great leader, is his ability to listen and make a good decision on behalf of the American public based on his instincts and his experience. Don't forget, this is a president who was here before, and the world was a much more peaceful and stable place when he left office than when he came back in after the past 4 years of complete incompetence by the previous president. Philip, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Two quick questions. When the president says Iran is very close to a nuclear weapon, is he relying on U.S. intelligence or intelligence sharing?
Well, don't disclose that.
To make that assessment.
It is a fact, and the United States government maintains this fact, that Iran has never been closer to obtaining a nuclear weapon.
And then if the U.S. were to take some type of military action, would the president go to Congress to seek war authority?
I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals. I gave you the
There's no
statement
need
from
to
the
go to
president.
Congress.
He'll
Why
make
would
a
he go to
decision
Congress?
within
War
2
Powers
weeks.
Act.
Sure. Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline.
Mary and then Elizabeth.
Two questions, one on Iran and then the second on something Jasmine Crockett said this morning. So given that we know the Iranian government did order an operative to assassinate the president, is there concern that Iran might respond with non-traditional military ways to some kind of strike on Iran, such as another assassination attempt? And has the Department of Justice looked into this last attempt on the president's life?
I believe Secret Service and the FBI have looked into the 2 assassination attempts that took place against the president, both of which were sad days in our nation's history. So I would defer you to the Department of Justice on where those investigations stand. But as for your question regarding Iranian retaliation, I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals again, but I can assure the American public and the world that this administration is prepared and ready to defend American interests and assets, not just in the region, but here on our homeland as well.
Thank you.
Elizabeth.
Sorry about
really
your
quick
flu.
on Jasmine
Should
Crockett. She said, I believe, that Trump supporters are mentally ill before calling for bipartisan support against the president. Can you respond to that, especially considering she's a rising star in the Democrat Party right now.
She is a rising star. It's quite something to behold, actually. I hope that she continues to be a rising star for the Republican Party, at least. I think it's incredibly derogatory to accuse nearly 80 million Americans of mental illness. The last time I checked, Jasmine Crockett couldn't dream of winning such a majority of the public as President Trump did. And the America First movement, which President Trump has built, is filled of hardworking patriots, the forgotten men and women, business owners, law enforcement officers, nurses and teachers, and middle America, as we all know, from where you all grew up, outside of this beltway. That's who makes up this president's movement. And Jasmine Crockett should go to a Trump rally sometime and she can see it for herself. Jennifer.
One on North Korea and one on China. On North Korea, they launched some rockets into the ocean today. What does the White House make of that? Do you read any meaning into that timing of that launch? And then on China, do you have any reaction to Xi Jinping's offer of intervening in Iran diplomatically? And are you seeing any signs that China would get involved militarily to support Iran?
I don't believe we're seeing any signs of that at this moment.
Lindy, very quickly. So, look, I'm not singled out. Everybody pays these taxes depending on their income level. It determines what you pay. It's a progressive system. It's morally bankrupt. It affects all Americans, not me specifically. And we should all pay taxes. I have no problem with paying taxes, but I'm not getting my money's worth. That's my issue. Also, I don't like paying them. I think the maximum amount of people should pay for taxes is 15% of their income. That should be the total maximum, 85% for you and your family, but that's just me. That's that question. And the big beautiful bill is, as I said earlier, Lindy must have come in late, is in the Senate stuck. They don't have the votes, so they're going to have to adjust it. That's what's going on with the big beautiful bill.
Wage growth, as I pointed out, it's a record high today for middle class and American workers. So the president's always wanting to ensure that we have a strong and robust economy for the American people and worker, and we do. As for the specific concerns regarding jobs, look, the president has made it very clear we need to remove public safety threats from the interior of our country, and that remains the focus and the priority of this administration when it comes to deportations, no matter where somebody works. If they're an illegal alien rapist or murderer that was allowed into this country in the past 4 years by this administration, the American people want those types of criminals to be deported from our country, and that's what the president is backing ICE to do.
Thanks. There was an apparent skirmish between the Chinese and the Philippines in the South China Sea. Just curious if you had any reaction to that, and if the steps you're taking towards the Middle East right now are reducing your capacity to deal with that situation.
I believe that happened as I was preparing and coming out here, so we'll get you a response to that. Certainly we have one, and our teams are always monitoring situations all around the globe.
Okay, and then one more just on Iran. Just over the past 24 hours, we've seen some Israeli strikes on Natanz, Isfahan, and Kondab nuclear facilities. Is there any assessment just of how effective or what the result of those strikes will be?
What I can share is that the IDF and Israel, I think, have exceeded a lot of people's expectations in their ability to really hinder Iran's nuclear facilities, but also they've taken out key people in the Iranian regime's leadership as well. So this is something, of course, we are monitoring and watching every day, and the president was just in an intelligence briefing. He continues to be briefed by his National Security Council, and he will throughout the duration of this war and conflict. And he also remains in constant communication with our Israeli counterparts, most notably Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Kristen.
Thank you, Caroline. We have heard from a number of U.S. officials who say that Iran doesn't want to make a deal, that they are just stringing the United States along. What is to say that they are not going to continue to do so if we continue to give them extensions, now 2 weeks before 60 days?
Look, Iran is in a very weak and vulnerable position because of the strikes and the attacks from Israel. And with respect to the president's statement, I shared that with all of you. And he has been very direct and clear. Iran can and should make a deal. We sent a deal to them that was practical, that was realistic, or they will face grave consequences.
Why is Steve Witkoff not participating in the talks this week?
I can ask Mr. Witkoff why he is not.
Thanks, Caroline. Does the president object if Israel attempts its own operation against Fordo in the next 2 weeks?
I won't decide that for the president, nor will I share that here. I'll let him speak to that.
Just another one. Iran is apparently warning Europeans that if struck by the U.S., it may withdraw from the nuclear proliferation treaty. That would result in throwing out inspectors and taking the program dark. What does the president think of the value of having Iran as a full signatory of that treaty?
Well, that's reckless rhetoric, but I understand the Europeans are meeting with the Iranians tomorrow, so we'll see how that meeting goes.
Just one more
go
on
ahead. Go ahead.
Juneteenth. Does the
Nikki.
president plan to commemorate the holiday today or make any comment on it?
I'm not tracking his signature on a proclamation today. I know this is a federal holiday. I want to thank all of you for showing up to work. We are certainly here. We're working 24/7 right now. Nikki, go ahead.
Actually, that was my question. Will he plan to mark Juneteenth in any way, either today or with an event later on, maybe next week?
Sure. I just answered that question for you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Caroline. The fact that this president is giving some time and space for diplomacy, another 2 weeks, does it mean that the president is trying his best to avoid a direct conflict with Iran?
I think the president has made it clear he always wants to pursue diplomacy, but believe me, the president is unafraid to use strength if necessary. And Iran and the entire world should know that the United States military is the strongest and most lethal fighting force in the world, and we have capabilities that no other country on this planet possesses.
On transgender medical procedures for minors, puberty blockers, hormone therapy, etc. The White House reaction to that, please.
It's a huge victory for America's children, and it's obviously something this administration believes strongly in, that young minor children should not be allowed to be subjected to chemical castration and mutilation. The president himself has taken very strong orders, or has signed very
No, I turned my microphone off. It's working fine. I just turned it off. It was my mistake.
Supreme Court ruled on the side of the law, but also on the side of protecting America's innocent children. Elizabeth, go ahead. Sorry, I skipped you earlier.
Okay, thank you so much. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced new vetting procedures on student visas. Will this serve as a model for vetting other foreign visas?
For all foreign visas, yes. As you know, the president signed an executive order, I think it was one of the first he signed in the first week, to strengthen our vetting requirements and our vetting system here in the United States for all visas. He directed the Secretary of State to do that. There was a pause in some of that vetting, as you all know, recently, especially with respect to students from some certain countries. But the vetting has continued, and it's stronger than ever before. As for specifics on how the vetting process has changed, I would defer you to the Department of State. As you know, they're in charge of things like that.
Thank you. To what extent is this 2-week delay with Iran the result of interventions by the likes of Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, or the entreaties of European leaders who want a de-escalation?
Look, the president hears all voices across the country, and he makes decisions.
The comment I was making earlier was that the Europeans are highly dependent on Iranian petroleum, and that's why they're desperate to talk to Iran. They don't want that pipeline stopped. They need it, or they're going to freeze come wintertime.
Kayla.
Thanks, Caroline. Oil prices have been spiking over the last week. Is the president watching the oil market, and is that factoring into his decision-making in the Middle East?
Again, as I said to, I think, Alex's question previously, the president is always watching, and this administration is doing more than any in history to bring oil prices and gas prices here at home down for the American public. They have been plummeting since President Trump's inauguration because of the executive action and the federal action this administration has taken on the home front. But yes, of course, he's paying attention and monitoring that. But as for whether it's weighing into his decision, there's a number of factors that, of course, are, and as I said, he will make that decision in the next 2 weeks. Can't reiterate that enough. Ouija.
Caroline, thank you. With regard to a potential deal, Iran has said it will not negotiate under duress. Does the president believe there should be a ceasefire in these next 2 weeks as the U.S. tries to broker a deal?
That's not what he said in the statement he dictated to me, so I won't get ahead of the president or add anything additional to the statement that he gave me the liberty to share with all of you.
And then just to follow up on how close Iran is to a nuclear weapon, can you clarify, when the president said a few weeks away, did he mean obtaining enough enriched uranium to start building a weapon, or did he mean Iran is a few weeks away from completing the production of a weapon?
I'm glad you asked that, Ouija. It's an important question, and it's one, frankly, the media has been getting wrong. Let's be very clear. Iran has all that it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon. All they need is a decision from the supreme leader to do that. And it would take a couple of weeks to complete the production of that weapon, which would, of course, pose an existential threat not just to Israel, but to the United States and to the entire world. And that is something that the entire world, including countries like Russia, is in agreement with, that Iran should not and cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. And that's why the president believes that, and he's believed that, again, not just his political career, but frankly, his entire life.
So it
Michael.
sounds like it's the former, just to be clear. that
Correct.
They have the components. Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Michael.
Caroline, as we look forward to the NATO summit next week, Spain right now is threatening not to oblige the president's request for all NATO countries to spend at least 5% of their GDP. Does the president take issue with this, with Spain right now?
I didn't see Spain's comments. I'll make sure the president sees them, and I can assure you he wants to see all European countries pay their fair share and meet that 5% threshold. It's only fair considering the American taxpayers have given a significant chunk of money to the tune of billions of dollars to support our mutual interests and our assured defense. So I will let him speak to that, but he's made his priorities for our European allies quite clear, including Spain.
Caroline, one last question. When it comes to the president's position on foreign policy in general, is there a phrase that the White House has coined? Is there a Trump doctrine? Does the president like to talk about this? Anyone here in the White House talking about this? And if so, if there is something akin to a Trump doctrine, how would you define it?
America first, always. And with that, I think I'll leave you. I know there's a lot of news in the world right now. As you know, our team is always here to answer your questions, and the president, I am sure, will take more questions from you guys at some point this week, as he always does in the effort of transparency. I appreciate your being here on a federal holiday, and we'll see you later. Thank you.
A bogus federal holiday, a racist federal holiday, which is based on nonsense. That's what this is, a federal holiday. Juneteenth, based on a Texas event that wasn't even the end of slavery. If you want to celebrate the end of legal chattel in America, December 6th is the day to do it. But these wusses don't want a holiday in December because it's too cold. They want to hang out on the beach now. So, only 10% of Iran's missiles get through. It's less than that. Doomsday plane was landed in Washington. What's this? Your weapon was to deterrent, stop you. Exactly. This lady and that dude. Very sharp. Okay. Don't forget COVID. Okay. All right, guys. There you go. So I've got a couple videos I've got to edit. The interview with Kali Creel. Also the video I did earlier about the snubbing of Ramaphosa. I'll publish those. Please watch for those coming up. Tomorrow is another day. And tomorrow's the day I'm supposed to be getting my 100,000 plaque from YouTube. We'll see if it actually happens. All right. So we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. I hate to leave with 1,000 people watching the show, folks, but it's time. It's time. All good things must come to an end. I'm so glad we have this time together. Like Carol Burnett, just a laugh or two. Yeah, I love that song from her. Anyway. All right. You're welcome. Cheers, everybody. And thanks for sticking around. We'll catch you with the videos coming out shortly. And then on the next live stream. I'll be live tonight, later tonight. We'll be doing our, night owls. So I have 2 on the same day because it was after midnight when I did the last one. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. God bless.